I just released my analysis on B2 Gold, and in that video, I mentioned that they're the biggest dividend payer of anyone in the gold industry. But then a couple of you commented on that video saying, hey, you should check out Fortitude Gold because actually they're paying an even bigger dividend than B2 Gold. I thought it was interesting that they're paying a monthly dividend at a yield of almost 9%. So in this video, we're going to dig into this company, see if this dividend is safe and sustainable. So by the end of this video, I'll give you my outlook for the company, whether I'd buy the stock or not. And as always, this is just my opinion based on my own research, and you should always do lots of your own research before investing any of your money. I had never heard of this company. And when I first looked into it, it seemed kind of interesting to me because their market cap is $132 million and they have almost $50 million in cash and no debt. This company operates strictly in Nevada, so it's always nice to be operating in a place with good rule of law where you know you're going to be able to keep your assets, where your employees aren't going to get murdered on the way to work, where your shipments of gold or silver or whatever aren't going to get stolen like what happened with Pan American Silver in Mexico. Really great jurisdiction. And something that shocked me was their all-in sustaining cost. What it cost them all in to produce 1 ounce of gold is $656 an ounce. And this was in 2023. This is by far the lowest number I've seen from any company report that I've looked at recently. So really, really low operating costs. This company's annual dividend payment at this current level costs them $12.5 million a year, which is easily covered by their current amount of cash. So after seeing this, I wanted to see how much the company has left in gold reserves and resources. They have an interesting business model because they're focusing on high-grade mines that they can invest a very small amount of capital into and get a very good return on their money. But their mines that they're looking at, their deposits that they're looking at, are much, much smaller than just about any other company in the gold space would even consider. So I was thinking, although I wouldn't usually invest in a business with small mines, maybe this is a unique business model worth looking at because they're picking up mines that other companies wouldn't bother with. So, okay, maybe they're small, but if they can still make money on them and their all-in sustaining cost is less than $700 an ounce, maybe it's a worthwhile investment. But let's look at these reserves that they have. Right now, the company has 1 operating mine. In 2023, their production was slightly less than 40,000 ounces. And also, they have an estimated 51,000 recoverable ounces currently on the heap leach pad that they expect to recover over a period of the next 3 years. And in addition to that, at Pearl, they have 2,700 oxide ounces and 34,000 sulfide ounces. So you might think, okay, they have 1 year of production left here. No, they don't have the equipment to recover the sulfide ounces. They can only recover the oxide ounces. So Pearl is basically done. They basically have nothing left at Pearl other than these 51,000 ounces that they have on the heap leach pad. And then in addition to Pearl, they also have several other properties, and on a couple of those they're working on getting permits to start building their mines. And between these 2 other main properties, they have about 115,000 ounces of resources. So even if they got permitted for both of those and were able to build that, well then that would be like 3 more years of production at their current production level. So not much at all. So looking at these reserves and resources, this is a big concern and doesn't get me excited at all about owning the stock. So then I was thinking, well, they have various exploration properties, so maybe they do have the skills to keep finding more and more ounces and be able to continue delivering at about 40,000 ounces a year and continue with this current revenue and current earnings that they've had recently. I don't have the knowledge to know like what kind of optionality they have there or what kind of discovery potential they have there. So then I was like, okay, let's go look to see if insiders own the stock and to see if insiders are buying the stock. Because the insiders are going to know a million times more about the potential of their properties than me. And if they think that their properties have lots and lots of potential, well then they should be buying the shares. I would like to see management own about 5 times their annual salary in shares And the CEO's salary in 2023 was $810,000, and he owns 462,000 shares, which is valued at about $2 million at today's prices. So he has a little bit more than 2 times his annual salary in shares, which is much less than I would like to see. And then I was looking into the regulatory filings, and in January 2021, it says that the company sold 500,000 shares to a group of investors at $1. And in a separate regulatory filing on the same date, it says that the CEO is a related party. So it looks to me like the CEO bought a portion of those 500,000 shares at $1. And that was in January 2021. Well, the company started trading publicly February 2021, and it started trading at $3.29. Now, this company, Fortitude Gold, was created as a spinout from another company. So this makes me think that this spinout was just a way for the insiders to get cheap shares in this new company. Now, I'm not an expert at reading these regulatory findings. So if you know more than I do, please comment and let me know. And next, the CFO. The CFO's salary in 2023 was $416,000. You know how many shares he owns? He owns 2,000 shares, about $11,000 worth of shares, with a salary of over $400,000. He's a CFO. That tells me he does not believe in this company. And you know what? He did have more shares in this, but he sold 50,000 shares in June, which were basically his final 50,000 shares. And now let's look at the chairman. His salary in 2023 was over $400,000, and he holds 360,000 shares. But I was looking at the insider transactions, and he sold 50,000 shares in January, and on that statement, on that regulatory filing, it said that he received 550,000 shares as a stock grant, which, to my understanding, that means he got them for free. He got 550,000 shares for free. He sold 50,000 shares in January. He sold 25,000 shares in October, and he sold 55,000 shares in June. He's selling these shares fast. And I was reading the annual report, and under the change of control section, it says that if there's a change of control in the company, all the executives and directors get paid a lot of money. They get paid 2 years salary plus 2 years of bonuses. So if this happened today, the CEO, for example, would receive almost $2 million. And in addition to that, it also says all stock options will be fully vested immediately. Any stock options will be extended for an additional 4 years. And it also says that all shares of restricted stock will immediately vest. Okay, so what do we have here in this company? We have virtually no mineable resources, or resources that are currently mineable. So that means that cash flow will stop or slow down a lot very soon. And also, their $50 million or so won't last very long because spend is very high. Every year, just the executive salaries are going to cost them a few $1,000,000. And also, they're going to spend something like $13 or $15 million on exploration this year. So that $50 million may only last 2 or 3 years. So I think the dividend is not sustainable at all. And then you have that change of control clause, which incentivizes a lower share price so the management team can get that change of control bonus. And they say the spinout was to put the Nevada assets in a different company, but it seems to me that the purpose of the spinout was more so to get insiders free or cheap shares, which I don't like at all. And finally, there's no insider buying and there's heavy insider selling. So my verdict is I would not touch this thing with the 10-foot pole. But if you would like to see another dividend payer that I would invest in, go check out my video on B2 Gold. They already pay a very, very healthy dividend. And as I show you in that video, that dividend is likely to grow a lot in the next couple of years. So go check out that video and I'll see you over there.